you. I've got another question which I'm going to direct to Kevin. There's one somebody listening who said, "What advice would you give a startup that is doing R&D on fishmeal alternatives with respect to obtaining funding for feasibility studies?"
Okay, good question. So obviously it depends somewhat in which country you're in. I mean, in the United States, there are several federal agencies that are funding this type of research. They've actually been doing it for a long time. My colleague Rick Barrows had funding from USDA and US Fish and Wildlife looking at alternatives for fish meal, mostly vegetable based. He made a whole career of it, doing it for 30 years, essentially, and showed that with the salmonids, there is no innate need for fish meal or fish oil. Economically, as several people point out, maybe you want 2-3% economically, but nutritionally, they don't need it. You need the nutrients, whether those amino acids or fatty acids come from different sources doesn't make any more difference for a fish than it does for a human. As long as you get all the nutrition there, the ingredient does not matter. Now, we got to be sure about all the micronutrients and all the vitamins, minerals, etc. But as Dominique pointed out, there is software out there that helps us to do that. Anyway, back to the other sources. Private sector. The private sector is keen on these things, whether it's venture capital companies, whether it's big banks, whether it's big corporations. If you have a pretty good initial product, your research is looking promising, there's plenty of private sector avenues there. We have outfits like Aquaspark and Hatch and these incubator outfits that are always on the lookout for promising research and promising new products. And so these kind of angel type investors would be very keen if somebody's got a good product. And basically, I mean, we're talking, if we go to the basic of it, as Luis was pointing out, why are we worried about an ingredient, about what the president's political persuasion is? And that's going to affect the aquaculture industry around the world. We have got to get away from a focus on wild capture, whether it's mesopelagic or whatever, to farmed ingredients that are not subject to who's the president or which capture method you're using or which total allowable catch for this year is going to be. That's crazy. I mean, we should not be trying to run a worldwide industry of an agricultural-based industry on harvesting wild products from nature. There's no other livestock industry that's trying to do that. So it's going to move very quickly into these alternative products that have got stable prices, stable volumes, and it'll probably be a mix of all the above. Insects, algae, microbes. I mean, look at what soy has done. The soy people 40 years ago started with some innovative products, and now it makes up whatever, 25, 30, 35% of all the aqua feed in the whole world. That's where we're going to go.